Alrighty, so this video is probably going to be very helpful for a lot of the players who are still under the 160 wall, but I think you guys are going to have it a lot better this time, especially now that you're getting it from someone who has dealt with the 160 wall a long time ago and has learned things even after passing the 160 walls on ways how to pass it and beat it very easily and stuff like that. Now, I'm going to explain everything. There's going to be timestamps in this video, so head to wherever you need to go to figure out what you need to do. Make sure you guys subscribe and like. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. So obviously the 160 wall is, what is the 160 wall? It's something in this game that everybody hits. It's a level cap, right? It's a level cap that all players hit and they have to cross over to continue progressing in the game, essentially, right? Even if you are stuck at the 160 wall, you can still like move on in the campaign, but you're gonna surely hit a wall, especially like a real stop, because of your level cap, right? So how does this work exactly? Well, in the game, before you get to the 160 wall, you usually have 5 characters leveled up and everybody else goes in your synchro device. Usually those 5 characters are your SRs, because you guarantee will have 2 dupes of each SRs, right? For every dupe you get of a character, their level cap goes up. So when it comes to the SRs, their max level cap is level 120, and that's usually how the people, you know, get all the way up to 160 wall. They just have 5 SR characters in their synchro device, and because 2 stars get you all the way to level 120, you start from level 120 and that ends at level 160. But then to get past 160, you need to own a total of 5 SSR characters that are 3 stars. It's a bit much, right? Essentially you need to own 20. No, I don't want to make it difficult. Essentially you need to own 4 copies of 5 different characters, right? You need to own 4 copies of 5 different characters, right? So 3 stars, they don't give it to you either, right? They've given out 2 so far, but you had to have been playing during those specific events, which were Ray and Snow White. If you were not playing during those events, then you are gonna have a more difficult time. But yes, you need to have them like this, right? They need to have 3 stars, and then that's how you get past the 161. There needs to be 5 of those characters in your box. Now, there's easier ways to actually pass the 160 wall. I actually find these ways to be very, very simple. I know in this game, a lot of people always want to have the brand new character, but it doesn't really make sense to always go for the brand new character if you're still under the 160 wall in terms of summoning on the recruit banner, right? So your best thing to do, right? And I've mentioned this before, but your best thing to do, right? What I like to do is, or what I, would have liked to done when I was under the 160 wall, was every single character that you currently own. If you are under the 160 wall, every character that you currently own, especially the ones that have dupes, right? Prioritize the ones that have dupes, then the ones you own, and then the ones you do not own, right? But every character that you own, especially again with the ones with dupes, put them on your wish list. The reason why you want to do that is because no matter what, you're going to guaranteed get a character you already own. By having a character you already own, that means you're going to get dupes for the characters, meaning it's going to be easier for you to get past the 160 wall, right? Remember, the wish list actually builds your banner, right? So if you have all the characters on your wishes, everybody else that you do not own or everybody else that is not on your wishes cannot be pulled from the banner. Meaning anytime you get an SSR off the ordinary recruit banner and you have your wish list set, you're guaranteed going to get either a pilgrim or a character from your wish list, which is very, very good. So let's say, for example, let me show you guys what I mean here, right? Let's say, for example, I have 3 characters that have dupes, which are these characters right here. I would look, and any characters I see that do not have full 3 stars, I would put them in just like that, right? And then I would confirm. Right, so now if I ever get a Tetra, it's guaranteed going to be a dupe, and if it was a dupe for Milk, then she would be 3 stars. I would take out Milk, and then I would probably put in another character in here again who has another dupe, just in case if I summon and I get Folkwang. Now I have a dupe for Folkwang, and it's just gonna, the more and more you summon and the more SSRs you get, it's going to build up to give you the characters you need. It's not specific characters, but it's going to build up to give you the characters you need, which is going to get you over the 160 wall. Another useful tip is the mileage shop. There are specific characters here, so if you do own these characters that you can get from the mileage shop, it's probably in your best interest to also put some of them on your wish list, besides obviously Ray and Snow White, for the simple fact, and Noah as well, since you can't, I guess, get her on the, you can't even put her on the wish list, right? You can't even put Ray or Snow White on the wish list, but I'm saying, like, do not buy Ray or Snow White because you can't get them. Noah, unless you are one away from getting her, you know, 3-star or whatever, then there's no point, right? But for example, like Crow, Drake, Maxwell, right? If you own these characters, these are characters you can actually buy their dupes from the mileage shop, right? And as you're summoning over time, trying to build up your 160 wall progression through the wish list, you're going to be getting the silver mileage tickets that you can then use to get some of these dupes earlier, so that you don't have to necessarily only get them from the what's it called, the recruit banner, the ordinary recruit banner. Now a lot of people ask, Zxous, should I use my gems to summon on these banners to get past the 160 wall? That's a question a lot of people always ask me, and my answer is no, only because I feel like Nikke gives you a lot of blue tickets over time to summon on these ordinary recruit banners. And then it's also like, why would you want to use gems here to randomize and get one of these characters when you could use it on an advanced recruit banner? And probably not the Pilgrim ones, because I mean, you would want to use them on Pilgrim ones, but 1% rate, it's not like that bad, like great of a chance. But when you have those raid up banners, like characters like Ludmilla or Summer and East, those limited characters, you can use your gems and go for max limit broken or LB3 of those characters, which would also help you pass the 160 wall. And it would be easier to get them since it would be a 50-50 chance, right? So I think your best bet is to use your blue tickets on these banners as you get them, because they come in quite often, and then use your gems on the advanced banners that are like the 2%, those good characters that are 2%, so that it's easier for you to just pass the 160 wall with your gems, and you're still getting a good character from that, and then you use your blue tickets here, right? So those are honestly the only two ways of doing it, right? The only way you can pass the 160 wall is by summoning, right? There's no other way you can do it, unfortunately. They give you Privity for free, so obviously it's like, it's Privity should probably be here, right? Obviously in Elysion you should probably have Privity here, right? They give you one copy of her for free, and then they don't give you anybody else for free. Another thing, actually, I just realized there's one more thing, right? I can't show you guys right now because I no longer have it, but I don't remember the exact mission. I think it's when you get to level 140, they actually give you a guaranteed body selector. They give you a guaranteed SSR body selector of the original characters in the game, where you can pick one of their dupes, right? What you want to do is save that body selector. If you know what I'm talking, unless you already used it, it's fine. But if you haven't used it yet, you probably know what I'm talking about. There's a body selector that you get. I'm gonna get a picture for you guys. So it looks like this. If you have this spare body selection in your account, what you would want to do is wait and save this until you need it for your very last character you're about to get 3 stars. What I mean is, let's say you have 4 characters already max limit broken. Max limit broken means you have 3 dupes of those characters, right? If you have 4 characters that are already LB3, and then you have 1 more character who is only 2 stars and you're waiting for that last dupe, saving the spare body selection box is going to allow you to pick that character on, if they're here, right? Obviously, if it's like a newer character, they're probably not here. But if they're an older character like Crow, Maxwell, Litter, whoever it is that is actually on here, by having 2 stars of them and been saving this box, you can actually just pick that character, get their dupe, and then you're officially over the 160 wall. That's probably the best way to go about it, if you want me to be completely honest with the spare body, since it's quite useless, honestly, unless you are going to save it for the 160 wall, in my opinion. But other than that, those are all the ways you can really pass the 160 wall, right? And I'm glad that you guys were able to now see how it used to be for some of us, maybe, right? Some of us, we didn't, tips I gave you guys here, a lot of us didn't do this back then. Right? So if you are a newer player, hopefully this is helpful for you, right? I do think this is the best way to do it, the best situation and stuff like that. Well, actually, let me slap in another tip for you guys. Modes, right? You guys have these modes in the game. If you end up getting an SSR here, let's say you get an SSR from these high quality modes, it's randomized, but let's say you get an SSR from this high quality mode, right? You probably want to, again, go there and then change it, right? Essentially, anytime you get an SSR, until you have a full set of 5 characters on each that you own, you always want to put the characters you own here. So for example, let's say I have 3 characters here and I don't own 2 of them, and I put 2 random characters that I do not own. If I end up pulling another character from another banner or a mode or anything like that, and now I do officially own them, I want to run to my wish list and switch out one of those characters that I do not own for that brand new character that I own. That's the best way to go about it, because that's going to help you with efficiency very, very much. So hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, leave a like. It's your boy Zxous. Subscribe. Again, there were timestamps, but you probably already seen that, and now that's the end of the video. Subscribe. We're trying to get 20,000, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Good luck on passing the 160 wall, everyone.